Hello. Kia ora, Manahi. I'm pleased to be talking with you. The angels have responded. Yeah. Now, I've only got good news. I'm putting together the documents for the hui up at Waitangi. Yeah, and so it's going to marry up the Tiki Tiki Church, the St. Mary Church at 1831. I've joined that title, which is a birth certificate title, was the first church in this country to put the birth certificates together under the King William reign, and that church was connected to the St. Mary Church in Parnell. That's where the government was when they blew up Kororareka. So they shifted the government there with Hobson. And so those two church titles are the first titles of native court in in Whakawhitira to Mount Hikurangi. That's the connection to that mountain. So that church, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you to write up in the legal format, which what you were trying to tell me, that the documents need to be fashioned in that format. So that's what I'm going to do for the legal part of the signed document for 4 Paramount chiefs and myself, Surrogate King William, to speak for him, but you are the JP to put it through the court, the native court, which is the Okiato Native Court at 1834, that we transferred into that Waitangi Marae and into Te Tii Marae, and that is that native court land title connected to the birth title at Tiki Tiki on the Rahui Marae. So that's the to Rangitukia, clearly on the old map of Maori land courts, it's got all the years marked, and that's the only place, Tiki Tiki and Rangitukia has got 1831 on the map, marked with the years, and all the others are 1837. After that, and that map is more or less telling you how they landed up on the land. Like how, when on 1837, 1850, 1857, all those periods to 1862 was when Refa Manukau signed with Clendon at Okiato. In that area was the same title at Auckland. The province of Auckland land title stretched to Tiki Tiki. And that Refa Manukau signed to who the Clendon bought the land off. You see, because Clendon bought the land in 1830, he bought those lands in Kororareka. And Clendon bought the lands in Hokianga. The same British Admiralty captain, but he had no British King sovereignty then. Until that flag went up. Until that flag went up in 1834, so they consolidated the titles into the 1834 and took them to Auckland, right? At the same time, they consolidated the Whakawhitira native court titles and put them into and I've got the receipt of how much they paid, the Scottish people paid in Edinburgh, before they they're supposed to go to Cornwallis on the Puponga Manukau land. But when they got there in 1840, the Crown New Zealand, New South Wales switched the title into Ngāti Whātua. You see, because the Ngāti Whātua is a homemade entity made by that crown, the Queen's Crown, for getting ready for the 1840 treaty. And so what they did was, the New South Wales, New Zealand government, they consolidated the 1830 titles, put them into an 1839 title, and prepared it for their 1840 title. But they've gone and stolen our titles. So that's going to be a simple process.
Yes.
It's going to be a simple process to sign it. You know what it is? A deed of title and a deed of truth.
Yes.
The Scottish Rite and Freemasons, they do the opposite to a deed of truth. They only say we are information gatherers, and we use that information to make titles on lands going on the information we receive. And so Mohi Manukau was trying to tell everybody, here is the deed. And because you're going to be talking for Mohi Manukau as a Moriori, that's the title that the Scots are holding. That's the title of the 1831 that the Scots made the land titles out of all over the world.
And you know what, they're still fighting for their independence from England, eh?
But they've got it through us. Because they were working for their boss. The Westminster is their boss.
Yes,
But now the Scots are wanting to pull out and go to the EU Parliament, but then they can't take those titles with them. It's like when you work for a company and you draw all the pictures for it, and that belongs to the company. So we're only talking contract. And the Admiralty makes contract private. Because no one can inquire in what you say and what I say under that flag. And they've been using it all these years to make their contracts private. You know, when you go in the court and the judge is going to get beaten, he'll go in the back room and says, look, we'll go into the private and deal with it. They're going into the King's Bench Court in the back room.
It's the chambers, eh?
Yeah, the chambers. They're going in there to talk. So I said, put you in the front and they put you on the other side of opposite the judge, and you have control over the Queen's Bench Court. So that's what it's going to do. We're the only ones in the world that can do it. Because we are carrying a native surname to that contract. That's 1831 church contract. That's the one you'll be handling. And to the other contract, the MARAE contract, that Kingi will be holding in Bundy, but in particular Bundy will be holding because he's the Cook one. The 1773 Captain Cook discovered this country. So he's the cookie. So he's in the right place. You see, so Kingi's got it now. Kingi is there. Because all I had to do is pick 4 chiefs. That's what Mohi said, the carving that he gave as a parliament. So the four main tribes of those 13 chiefs, not the other ones, only the 13 chiefs. The 4 that we have live today is Bundy, yourself, Kingi, and Jim Tupi. Wikotu. That's all you need to complete a original native, live native, to claim Mohi's title. So you 4 will be claiming. I'm making it public on Facebook now, so they know that's what's going to break the camel's back. It's because I was here. It says 1831 in Tiki Tiki. I was here, and you came later. And at that time, Reverend Carr and Wanoa Carr was in that in that church. You see, so there's the proof as we being party and parcel to that contract.
Yeah.
So that
Absolutely.
that forms the papal bull title. That's the connection, because the Queen and the Pope in 2008 joined the Lisbon Treaty and got rid of all the treaties into one treaty in Brussels. Now we own all of that under King William and this flag,
Yeah.
because he's a Dutchman and this is Zeeland. So that puts so that we're a two-party contract. The other ones who are talking are a third party. You see, that's a commercial contract. In plain English, black and white. Those receipts of Referee for Manukau is in plain black and white there, how much was paid. And the receipts, I've got the receipts in before those lot came from England, the Scots, that they paid for the land at Puponga, at the Manukau Heads. And clearly, Hongi Hika went to England in 1820 with Tira Waikato Wharahere de Manukau. And so Tira Waikato put all the land titles together with this company. They formed the company, William Simons formed the company, the Manukau Company. And the Roy and Wood was the conveyance lawyer that put that title together. And so with that, the William Cornwallis Simons came to the Heads. He mysteriously drowned. And so now Ngāti Whātua, Tirana and Tuaire and Tamaki can't prove they are Morioris. You see? They can't prove that they got a receipt to say they bought it off Cornwallis. Yeah, you got to prove, because I'm holding on to those receipts. I'm here talking for Moai Manukau. He's probably laughing now up there. He's laughing because he couldn't understand real estate. He couldn't understand contracts, because he was walking around with the survey peg in his hand, sticking it in the ground, selling the Manukau lands in the Kaiparas and up north in Auckland with John Rogan. The names that appear on the documents of that sale with Kororareka joined to Auckland, it's got Referee for Manukau's name on it, John Rogan's name on it, right?
Yes.
And Clinton's name on it. So Clinton had his HM Treasury boat, HMS boat, a Navy boat in Kororareka. It was in Hokianga, so the Hokianga is tied to Kororareka land title in 1834, and it's tied to the Auckland one with that name Clinton, and that ship Fortitude went to Hicks Bay. It docked at Hicks Bay, and they walked around and round the East Cape up to Whakawhitira, and there the Clinton joined up the Clinton title in Auckland and Okiato. There. And the North and the South Island is connected by the maunga. Hoikurangi maunga is Toi Kairako. They changed, Ngāti Pro changed that, Toi Kairako. And Mimi here, they put that title in and threw out the three other kids off the mountain and kept one for them. So Jim fixes that up, he's fixed that up. That's why we're supposed to go to Taranaki, but I think they got wind we were coming there to sort that out, and they shied off. I think that's what I got from Bundy. They shied off because Jim was going to bring it out. Because he's connecting the two mountains, Taranaki, that's Raki. The South Island maunga is Aoraki. And its parent is Rekohu. That's where the Moriori country was, where you fellas and Mohi Manukau's country is. Those names like Waitangi and Tūranga and Hikurangi came from here, there to here, not from here to there. And this government here and the Crown was saying it went from here to there. No. I'm going to put the names in a box, like Manukau and Hikurangi, and I'll pull them out one by one. I said, who owns this? And I says, well, you must be a Manukau. Yeah, you can't be anything else because you stand up for this. I'm putting the name out of them. And where did you get that name from? You see, they won't say from Chatham Islands because they're ignorant to not know that history and all that stuff that I spent with Mohi for years sorting out his whakapapa, and it sorted out my own one. And then all of a sudden I was thinking, hey, what's going on here? When Mohi says, oh, your family is connected to Po in Kaipara. And the Wanoas to the Rogans there and at Ratara, because the Wanoas over there mixed up with these Rogans. And they're mixed up in Te Aroha with the Rogan. You see, so the Rogans married the Wanoas and married the Manukau's to get these two main names on their title. And then Kingy's saying to me now, oh, I think you've got something going there, mate. See? So Kingy put the flag up in the RSA in Point Chev, and it's up all the time now. So that means the army has recognised the flag now, it's flying all the time. So that's those fellows that got booted off Cornwallis. They got shoved into Avondale and Point Chev to go and live over there because it was all bush, the land they bought. And that was these crooked New South Wales and New Zealand Crown selling the land over here, and then all of a sudden says, no, you can't have that, you've got to have the one over there. So they took that Manukau title for themselves. You see? Yes. Checkmate, mate. That's what Willie is saying. Checkmate. Yes. Yeah, that's what he's calling it. But that's the good news. With that, where we start off from, I do all the bank and I'm just going to focus on the bank. That's the Moai Crown is the title that we go under. And we have to drop the Maori and leave it there with the government to handle that side of things. You're still a Maori, but it's a commercial title. The Maori is got to stay there, and because it's become a debtor now to the Moai side, and the Moriori and the cook. You see? So the three things, the cook, the Moriori, and the Moai, is the discovery title to the Pacific Islands to boot them out of there. The King of Hawaii is coming there too, so he can cover that lot.
That's better.
He's coming to that hui up at Waitangi, so he can cover the Pacific part because he wants his Hawaii back too. He can't get it back until he does this. Because this is the same queen on that side that's playing up in America. She's gone around America to get to this country with the TPPA as an instrument to try to use that, because she's not the head of this country's state. She's not. I've got all the recording of that. She's not the head of state. She's just a figurehead, and that's how I won my court case. Because I said you got no queen above your head, and you got no seal. And so that's when the judge went in his back room, and he didn't take me in the back room. He just went to make a decision. But he should have really took me out the back and made a thing. But he gave me a chance to run off, because when he come in, he says I'm innocent. I say, oh, I can go home now. But then the police jumped on their feet and opened it up again. So that started another contract. So what happens is I'll be talking up there about the Cook Street, and the 4 Paramount chiefs will go there with me, and the police and that police liaison officer up there will clear the way to seize it back into the hapu. So that's got to be done with the court papers after the hui up there. So that's when you draft the documents to go through the court in that court, because we're going under a dual government with the British as our partners. We're going straight into the 4 Paramount Chiefs, and we'll go straight to Westminster, straight in there, because they need this flag now. They need this flag because they've split now, and they're all in a mess.
Yes.
And it's gone and put everything in a mess now. Now Trump is no better off, because he's just going to get richer off that crown side, that contract side, third party to us. You see?
Yes.
So I think I've told you enough how it works, and that's how it works. It's out now. I've got everything out in the open on Facebook, and that's admissible in the High Court or any court as being disclosed. There's nothing for a judge to look for, because I'm putting the videos to make statements. The video is better than the documents. Because when my barrister said to the judge, "Don't want to say something," the judge says, "No, there's no need. It's all on YouTube." And so that was the end of that lot. So I use that means of telling whoever that we're going to do it, because we warned you long enough. And it's better with me having the 4 Paramount Chiefs over the country. That title, the whole country title, and the world for that matter. But I'll be handling all the rest of the world with that. But it's just that we are now facing the Queen and our Queen Victoria Trust. That the Americans are holding on to their money. That the Philippines, it's buried over there. Now the President Rodriguez Duterte of Philippines has gone and kicked the Rothschilds off his island, because he'll end up, he's using the Admiralty law that I'm going to be using on Cook Street to seize the land back off anybody who has interest, and then that way he gets to keep the gold. But I'm got in now that it belongs to our trust. You would know that anyway. I don't need to say anything about that, but it still belongs. It's not our problem where the Queen went and forged the place to get money for the Crown, but it's the Crown that we say, where did you get your authority from?
Yes.
You see, so the Pope gets his authority from King William the Third and King William the Fourth, and so he's subject to us as a third party. And so it's this church in Tiki covers that. That's the raw truth. That's the deed of truth, I'm telling you. That the Freemasons are on our side, because they got booted off the land at Cornwallis. They've never forgiven this government here for doing that to them. I'm talking about the ones that came from England. They paid, I got the receipt of the money they paid for the land, and when they got here, they were told to go to Avondale and Point Sheriff and settle over there, but they weren't given a clear title. That's a bad title. That's what you call a bad title. And that was done through the real estate here to the real estate where the land title was sold from in England. You see, the British, you got the King's Crown and the Queen's Crown. We're acting the King's Crown. You see? So you got a very important job to address the Queen's Court, acting on the Queen's Court with the Paramount Chiefs on the King's Court. So you've got a double role to play, and all I am is I'm the creditor. Not my job is the creditor as the land commissioner, and that's all my job is. I don't handle their land. I leave that to the hapus and whoever they want to go, and I can tell them what to do, how to do it. But the Scots will tell them everything, because all the titles they got belong to us. So we just make a deal with the Scots. And we'll say, well, cut a deal with you, right? So New Zealand is 14/100th of the wealth of that Queen Victoria Trust. Yeah, because that's going by countries and population of where it went to, because it's run in Britain and it's up to the British and us. But we got the flag of the contract here. The flag is the contract. Their flag doesn't make money. This is the only flag that makes money. And this government here has been making money all these years because it's the Governor General, the Prime Minister that appoints the Governor General, and it's the Governor General that sells the land.
Yes.
And then he's the one liable to send it off to the Queen and to the bank, the United Nations, the interest and principal. The principal goes to the United Nations, to the World Bank, and we own that too. You see?
Yes.
It still had to come from somewhere. But they're using our native title. This native title is used for all the native titles in the world as a blueprint. See, because it's got the Queen's head on it. Now the Queen's gone. It defaults back to the King's head. You see, because she's in the EU Parliament now. She shifted and stole all the money out of the HM Treasury in England. That's why they're in more debt, twice as much, and took the money into the EU Parliament. Now, that's King William's land. He owns Brussels and Netherlands and all that, because the Dutch there. So we take that too. So you see what a job I've got? Only because Moai was teaching me how they do it. And he was sworn to secrecy in the Freemasons. But he told me anyway. I've never told anybody till now of how they work. and I think the Freemasons are the ones looking after me on Facebook, making all these claims. Somebody's looking after me, but I think that's what it is. Yeah. But that's all I wanted to tell you, Manahi. I'll have these documents, the 42 pages, will be coming up in your email, and to Bundy and Jim and Kingy. Yeah. I meant to do this 3 weeks ago, but I've been finishing off the research on everything and tying it all up tight. Legal side, I'm doing on the legal side tight. So I'll email them, expect them in a couple of days. The videos will be with it explaining each of those pages. Okay? Yeah. What do you think about that? So you'll be covering the Moriori side for Manukau, for the East Cape, and for Hokianga, in particular Hokianga and Kororareka. I'll be doing the Auckland part here with Kingy. And Jim will look after the others, the rest of the Toi Kai Rako. Okay? Okay?
Thanks for ringing, eh?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, mate.
Kia ora. Bye. That's all. There you go. I'm just saying that Manahi is a key role player in this whole situation. Hang on a second, I'm just got Jamie. On the phone to Manahi. JP. Cool. He got it. I'm back now. Back now. video. Yeah. Now, what just happened here is historic. Today, Wednesday, the 10th, I think it is. Wednesday, the 10th of May 2017. Just spoke to our JP, Justice of the Peace, works in the courts, and being Moriori with Mohi Manukau, he's going to be speaking for the Manukau title with the Freemasons side of the title. As well, we're linking them up. There's Scottish people at Winchev, where the flag's flying now. I'm just connecting that up with their jurisdiction of the land titles they never got. Hang on, I just got... No. I just gotta make it. Just going to upload. Yeah. I just got off the phone. It clears the way. There's the way through the courts he works in. There, that's Jamie. She's watching what's going on. So I just really want to say this. Fact, evidence, citation video here. I'm making a statement today that our native grand jury, King's Bench Jury Court is holding a meeting, court meeting, in Waitangi on the 19th and 20th, the Friday and Saturday of this month, to force these 42-page writ warrant of execution over this country and the Crown Corporation's businesses, the government in New South Wales and New Zealand, Wellington, Parliament, Beehive. I just spoke to him and outlined what has to be done to correct a bad title to Cook Street, 77 Cook Street, and this country's whole title structure. And the British will be ordered to seize all the titles because this government and its Crown corporations and its Maori iwi, Maori Crown agents, commercial agents of that Crown, third party to us, King's Court, has corrupted our land titles from Britain, our first partner, and us their second partner, in a two-party contract. That's what I just told him. He's got it. He's got it. Bundy's got it. Bundy Waitai is for the Cook Islands, 1773. New Zealand was discovered by Captain Cook. That's on the record, on this video, as citation. And in 1833, King William IV, reigning monarch from 1830 to 1837, acknowledged Captain Cook's discovery title. Wasn't written up yet as being colonised from Britain. So in 1833, James Busby, British resident in Okiato, native court, with Captain James Ready Clinton, put together the court in 1834, 20th March 1834, and opened the court, the first native court in this country, with this flag. The 1834 Declaration of War, State of Emergency flag. Tristan State flag was created under the same title of Clinton at Okiato in the Bay of Islands, Russell, Kororareka, to Auckland Province title that stretched to Tiki Tiki, Rangitukia, on the east coast on my land blocks, on my own Wanoa land blocks. I talk for myself, other families can talk for themselves, but I'm telling my story. They came to my Rahui Marae, and these are the missionaries were there before Clinton got there. Captain Clinton sailed his ship of Admiralty into the Hokianga harbour, found that its approach in the harbour was too rough, and shifted his operation of setting up a British government over to Kororareka, where he teamed up with James Busby. Now, that Clinton title, this is 1830, Clinton was buying land because he knew he had King William's back with anything British. So he was selling British land and buying British land. He bought the land from Paramount Chief Pomare II, King Pomare II. In 1830 he bought land at Okiato in Kororareka, and also in 1833 he bought more land, 1834. So he consolidated those lands into this Okiato native court and put it under this flag straight to Britain. That is the contract that I'm going on, that contract. Then when Captain Clinton sailed to Auckland and set up and blew up, the Navy blew up the Kororareka courthouse, and they came to Auckland and set up the courthouse there and used the Manukau land titles in 1840 that Captain William Cornwallis Simons came with his Scottish people who paid for that land at Puponga, Manukau Heads, now called Cornwallis. So those Scottish people never got that land. They were duped out of it and told to go into Point Chev and Avondale, where they are now. And so our flag's flying in Point Chev, RSA, returned servicemen, and mostly Scottish. So now those Scottish have a bone to pick with Bill English and John Key. They're on our side. The Freemasons, with Mohi Manukau's 50 years in the Freemasons, is kicking in now. Legal. Kicking in now. And I'm talking for Mohi Manukau. Paramount Chief Te Mati Manukau, Paramount Chief Mohi Te Mati Manukau IV, and the Freemasons, land title creators of these deeds of sale, deeds of title in Edinburgh, Scotland, under the Manukau Company, registered company in Roy and White, lawyer's office, conveyancing lawyer, Roy and Collins, I think, conveyancing office. Now, that title came with Captain, the son, Captain Cornwallis, William Cornwallis Simons, came to Manukau Heads and then mysteriously drowned in 1841 after the treaty was signed. It all went pear-shaped. Now that's the title we are using for Cook Street, that this Crown and the government, John Key and Helen Clark, they corrupted the title. I was trying to put the Manukau's name on that title, the Moriori and the Parapara. The Manukau and the Parapara names go together all over this country. Motueka, the Parapara and the Manukau's names are on it, and East Cape, the Parapara and the Manukau's names on it, and also Auckland and Kaipara and down south of New Zealand, North Island. So that's all I wanted to say about the call, the most important call I would make, because they were thinking that I was going the wrong way. No, I never go the wrong way. I never make a mistake as crucial as this. I'm blocking the holes up and forcing those people who are corrupting our titles out. Now this one is for Tato Rameka. I just found your name. It's a Phillips. That's your surname. That's why you play up. The same as Neil Watson. Play up. Because you're acting on the Maori side of Pākehā on this New South Wales, New Zealand title as the Queen's title, crown, and that's why you play up. Anybody in the Queen's side of Maori is playing up, is doing it to try and head me off. No, you'll never ever succeed. And your church, you're the Church of Israel, which is bombing this whole world up, and I put those things on Facebook just to make it graphic. You'll see I'm being very straight into your face, Tato, because you're doing it on purpose. You're intimidating, just as Benjamin Netanyahu is intimidating war. In fact, you're fueling the war, and it's surprising that you as a pastor is reacting out of character. It's because it's in your blood, your white side of your blood, that's ruining the Moai crown, Tahitian cultural heritage and inheritance of this land. So that's what I wanted to say. I see Jamie's going flat out there. I'll get back onto that shortly, but I've got other videos to make with the 42-page warrant that we're going to take Cook Street and the motel at Loddon Point and the property next door where the woods are, because they can't prove title. They can't prove who they bought it off. They bought it off William Cornwallis Simons was the first person that bought the titles to New Zealand from Britain. Now we're not going through the Australian titles because they don't have a flag of Admiralty in private contracts. We are the kings of private contracts right through the world. Okay, and America is subject. We can shut you down with this flag because you're running on the king's commerce and using the Queen as your head of your, as Jesuit head with Pope Jesuit and your corrupt fraud Rothschild bank business. Now we're going to use this flag with those Paramount chiefs to this native land for all the native lands in the world. The King of Hawaii, you'll be here. You take that title to the Pacific and run it through Hawaii, through this flag. It's your flag because this is for New Zealand and Pacific Islands where we came from. I'm from Tahiti, my father's side, and from Rarotonga or Cook Islands on my mother's side, the Kaika side and the Wanoa from Raiatea and Rapa Nui. So that's me coming here when the Moriori were already here in the Cooks. Cook Islands are here first, then the Moriori from Chatham country, Reku country, belonging to the Parapara Manukau, came here from there. That's what I'm explaining to him. You see, they don't know this. They don't know. They know now. He knows now, but the Freemasons know it. The Freemasons are sworn to secrecy. I'm just telling a story, and I want the Freemasons to get this one. we're on your side to the land titles, that you are going to carry on administering those titles. We're going to sort out Westminster once and for all, with the Scottish side of my Rogan family, and the English side of my Rogan family, and the Patrick side of Jamie's family, the St. Patrick's 8-point standard flag. That's the Papal Bull side of King William IV. That council, chief's revenue collector, land rent chief. The 4 paramount chiefs are the land rent chiefs, the real chiefs that collect the rent. I'm the creditor and the bank, the Moai Powerhouse Bank, to collect the rent. Now yesterday I put the companies that are Moai Crown Company online, the Moai Powerhouse Group Limited registered company in London, UK, online, and also the Ngā Atua Ewa Aotea Limited company here that will be administering the Moai Crown business. Although we have Moai Crown business on its own, so we have several businesses with those names. Those are our own patents under the Moai Crown patents, equal to the king, with the 4 paramount chiefs. The word paramount means king. They are kings equal to King William IV in their own paramount status of surname to surname to surname on the male side, bloodline, which is Salic law, forbids women to be to the throne in England or Britain now. So that's King Ernest Augustus is male line with this flag as successor to King William IV. We are petitioning him into Westminster when we go there with the chiefs. He's going in, or his son, Prince Regent Ernest Augustus, 32 years old, 33 years this year. He'll be king if King Ernest Augustus V abdicates to him. He'll be the king, a young king, the real bloodline, the real legitimate king. And King Ernest Augustus V is legitimate with Prince Caroline of Manukau, still married. They're still legitimate. Both of them were approved by Queen Elizabeth as husband and wife. They're still husband and wife to us as our legal second partner. Us to him first partner. The Navy is first partner with him. British Royal Navy is the first party, contract, private, with us. Second party, and Bill English and everyone else in the world, the Queen Elizabeth, is third party. We're seizing Queen Victoria Trust with the 4 paramount chiefs, contractors, and myself, the creditor, bank, manager, and also our businesses ready to go with the Moai tidal turbines and hydrogen economy of the world. So that's as much as I want to say with this video, is to say I'm very pleased that Bundy, Manahi, Kingi Taurua, and Jim Wikotu at this stage are the 4 chiefs, paramount chiefs, that I nominated in as the surrogate King William IV on my ship of Admiralty that I'm driving online. These are online case by media trial. This is a trial by media because what I say online on videos and in writing, any judge in any court has no case of defendants to defend themselves in any court except the native court, because they'll lose. You lose, you get £1 trillion on your head. Our figures are high because it's up to us to assess the value of anyone on the performance of who does not respond or defend their names. Your names are on there. I'll read them out when I do the next videos on the 42 pages of those people in New Zealand here that I've named. When your name is up there, and any of names that all the sheriffs in this country, in all the regions, and they join, will be under this Moai Crown and the British Brexit government. The new government that's going in has got us in there as party and partner to run a dual government with the natives right through the world in 250 countries with this flag. It's a free passage through the world flag. It's a commercial trading bank flag, and it is a seal of the King's flag and protection by the British military and navy. It is our protectorate, was put there in place, and it's extant forevermore. Institute law in Westminster Parliament. Okay, can't be changed. It cannot be changed unless it's got the Paramount Chiefs of Manukau in it. So that's being well hidden with Manukau. I must thank him and his tupunas. He's not the only one. Those 13 chiefs up in Ngāpuhi and Hauraki and Te Arawa was in the Kaipara. That's, I say, Te Arawa, Ngāpuhi, Waikato and Aotea are the 4 main tribes of those 13 chiefs in those areas, from Hauraki down to Taupo and up to up north. All those northern chiefs are only 13 and not the rest. In the 1835 side of the flag is redundant. This government here in New South Wales and New Zealand legislated it out in their Queen's Crown Authority courts, Queen's Bench courts, and they're operating illegally without a Queen as a head of state and church here. They're running on nothing, a whim as much as what they have been doing all wrong. So we're going to seize their titles with these Paramount Chiefs to that Manukau Company title in Edinburgh, Scotland. That's online, right in front of you now. Okay, so that's all I want to say for that. It's now, I've got to get back online, 10:05 AM on Wednesday the 10th of May 2017. Bid you a nice day today. Kia ora. Off now.